What's going on, everybody? It's ETA Prime back here again. Recently, MSI held a new Claw event, and I was able to attend in California. They also had a lot of other awesome YouTubers attend, like The Fox, Stubbs from Retro Handhelds, Rudy from Baldy Rudy, Russ from Retro Gamecore, Cyber Dopamine, Retro Tech Dad, Alex Spector, Michaela from Team Retro, and I'll leave links to all those channels in the description below because, we had a blast messing around with the new MSi Claw AI 8 Plus. And in this video, I kind of wanted to give you my first impressions. And of course, at these kind of events, we're a little limited on what we can and can't do with these units because it isn't released just yet, but MSI was pretty open about this new device. And I want to start off here with the ergonomics. Now, personally, I do like the whole form factor. They've really designed this to fit directly in the hand. Super comfortable. It's not super heavy, even though we're working with a much larger battery and a much larger screen than the original MSi Claw. They did totally redesign the D-pad here. It's got more of a dish shape, and I'm not a huge fan of the dish-shaped D-pads, but I can tell you that it works a lot better than the D-pad on the original MSi Claw. Two of the biggest upgrades here for this new Claw is the screen size, coming in with an 8-inch 1200p display with VRR and an 80 watt-hour battery, so it's matching that of the ROG Ally X. They also added a second USB 4 port, so we've got two on this new unit, and they were really kind of comparing this against the Ally X because they're both Windows handhelds sitting in kind of the same space here. But with the new Claw AI 8 Plus, we get that new Lunar Lake Intel Core Ultra 258V, and I've done a lot of testing on the channel. It is a great performer. It's got 32 gigs of RAM running at 8,533 megahertz. The GPU is that Arc 140V, an 8-inch variable refresh rate 1200p IPS display, Hall-based analog sticks, 80 watt-hour battery. I did mention we've got those two Thunderbolt 4 ports now. It's also got Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.4. On paper, it definitely looks like a really good performing handheld. And they did release some slides giving us an idea of what kind of performance we're going to be seeing out of this device. Now, with this, you kind of got to take it with a grain of salt because it is coming from the manufacturer themselves, MSI. But from what I saw at the event, testing the unit out and tested on my own with the laptop using the same Core Ultra 258V, looking right on par with the test that I've run in the past. Obviously, we've got a Windows 11 powered handheld here, but we do have some new software or updated software, and there's actually a few really cool things here that we haven't seen on other handhelds in the past. But the first thing we have here is the updated Center M. So it does make it a lot easier to kind of navigate. I think it looks a lot cleaner. There's a few customization options that we have here, and we can totally control the performance directly from here like we could on the original MSi Claw. As for power profiles, at the time of making this video, it looks like we're going to get an 8, 17, 30, and there's an overboost feature that they will be adding. They did mention that this is probably what's going to be included at launch, but they are kind of considering other different TDP settings that we could use. But I'd say my favorite thing about the new Center M is that the quick menu is now integrated with Microsoft's Game Bar. This is really awesome, and this is the first time we've seen this in a Windows handheld. This is just kind of one step closer to Microsoft, getting better UI for these handhelds. But this has been working out really well on the new Claw AI 8. And we've basically got all the same functions that we usually do with a quick menu. Performance overlay, TDP adjustment, screenshots, screen recording. Everything you really need in quick menu is here, but it's integrated in with Microsoft's Game Bar. And just to kind of give you an idea of the size of this unit, I was able to compare the size against the Steam Deck, and this is the white Steam Deck OLED. Remember, that has a 7.4-inch OLED, but we've got an 8-inch here with the new MSi Claw 8 AI Plus, and I was also able to give you a look at this thing next to the ROG Ally X. So far, in the time I've spent with the 8 AI Plus, I've had a pretty good time with it. There were a few hiccups here and there, but this is early software, and we can definitely expect updates. And as soon as I can make some videos, show off some benchmarks, I'll be putting out a bunch of videos on this thing because I want to show you exactly what this thing can do. And I'd love to know from you in the comments below what games you want to see running on this in that first video. I've already got a lot planned, but I can sneak some games in there. Basically anything from Steam, just let me know what it is down below. Obviously, we'll be running some benchmarks, battery test. We'll be putting this up against the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally X. But until then, I kind of wanted to give you my first impressions here, and I think that MSI really did listen to the community. I love the ergonomics here. Layout is awesome, and even though we're working with a bigger device, it's not uncomfortable to hang on to for long periods of time. D-pad is much improved, and I can't wait to show you exactly what this thing can do. But until then, that's going to wrap it up for my first impressions video. If there's anything you want to see running on this, just let me know in the comments below. Like always, thanks for watching.